How you doing?
Good, y'all.
Doing good,
Good,
doing
good.
good.
Good,
Thank
good,
you.
good, good.
Of course. So we like to just start it off by like introducing ourselves, and then having you introduce yourselves and kind of like what you do and all that
Sure,
jazz. So
sure.
I'm Raven Nicole, and I'm also an artist myself. That's my very short introduction.
Sweet.
I'm Jessica Jan. I'm from small town in beautiful British Columbia, Canada. I'm an artist as well, and I am working on stuff with Raven here at Ascendance.
Nice. Well, I'm Marcel B TheMC, um, co-founder of a Christian multimedia company called Merlot Shades. I also run Ambassador Studios up in Michigan, out of Southfield, Michigan. I'm an artist, of course, but I wear multiple hats. Father, husband, brother, son, friend. All that kind of stuff. And I'm thankful to be here.
Okay, okay.
Right on. Yeah, we're glad to have you here.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
I was just listening to On God.
What you think?
I love it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, that flow, that flow.
I
I'm telling
appreciate
you.
it. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
I love the message. It's obvious. Well, not obvious, but to me, it was very clear. Like, don't stay stuck where you are when the next step could be like life changing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, don't stay
Sure.
stuck in the mud when one more step could get you on solid ground type thing. I
Yeah.
really like it. And I love the cover art too. It's really cool. Did you make that yourself or did someone else make that for you or?
Someone else made it, but a lot of what you see are concepts. My partner and I, Tarmel Daniel, we come up with the concepts, whether it be the artwork that you see, the video treatment, even what I'm wearing. Like we come up with a lot of the concepts and we engage people that do that to do that. So we didn't design it, but a lot of, sometimes I'll do a very horrible sketch, and give that to a designer and he'll do that. But that was actually a great designer overseas that designed that one. But I let God kind of paint that
Gotcha.
picture.
Yeah.
I started going down a certain path and it started coming to me and I was like, oh, this, I see an escalator. And if you look on the cover art, the escalators, the steps are different projects, because that's what it's really about, giving everything that we're overseeing up to God. So it's me putting, everything all my responsibilities creatively, putting them on that escalator up to heaven, just sending it up to God and, putting that responsibility on him. I just oversee him. He's responsible for him.
Mhm. I like that. I
Nice.
like that a
Yeah,
lot.
that's all
Appreciate
you
it.
can do is have faith and not hold on to things so tightly.
Yep. Yep.
But yeah, I really like that. That's
Appreciate
awesome.
it. Appreciate it.
Would you
But
say
yeah,
that would be like your overall message with your music, or do you think like that was mostly the overall message for that song, and you have like a different like overall message?
Yep. So, great question. I actually just finished recording the album a couple of weeks ago. So the album, I see that coming first quarter next year. It's called Biblic, actually. The
Okay.
album's called Biblic. But overall, the goal is to stand in the gap between the church, these religious folks, and the people who aren't saved. Sometimes, like, especially with Christian hip hop, some of the artists or MCs believe that because you're talking about God, that you can slack off on the skill level. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm gonna talk about God and Jesus and walk you through faith, but you're gonna get these bars at the same time. You get what I'm saying? But the overall message is to show people that you don't have to be perfect to walk with God. In fact, he wants you to bring all your imperfections with you. And so on God was just that same thing, you might never get the job back, but you can get a better one and a bounce back. You might never get the car back, just because it got repoed, like that was me speak, like some of that stuff that was from experience, like, getting a car repoed and being able to either get it back or get a better one next time. Like, and just to get people out of that mindset of man, in order to go to church, in order to walk with God, I got to be perfect first. And you know, nobody's perfect. So a lot of people think that the church is more out of reach than it really is. So I say overall, that's what it is. Just to bring, you know, meet people where they are, you know, for sure. Like, you know, you can have tats and, you know, you can do this and do that. And you don't have to be perfect. You could be working on it, but you don't have to be perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Right on. Yeah, I like that.
Appreciate it.
I like that a lot as well. Because my thing is not, it's not so much faith-based, like my motto for my artist self itself, but it's like, you know, progress over perfection, which, you know, lines up with, you know, what you're saying. It's like, you don't have to be perfect for you. It's like, you don't have to be perfect for, you know, God to meet you where you are. And you don't have to be perfect when you're, you know, making music. You don't have to, you just have to, you know, be willing to work at it. And the same thing, like with your relationship with Christ, you just have to be willing to work at it. Because, you know, who did he go to most of the times? He didn't go to the saints, you know, he went to the sinners. And so it's like, and people, I think we forget that, you know, that like, oh, I've done all these things, like, and now, you know, God's mad at me, or he's turned his face from me. He doesn't do that. Like, we see like a vengeful God when really, like, he's love. And that's personally like what I try to encompass is love, like try to do things out of love, because I know that, you know, everybody has life going on, everybody has experiences going on, and the best way to react to that is love. And a lot of things that come out negatively from other people is something internally within themselves, and different things that they're fighting themselves. And so like that's always like something that I've really held on to, is just like love as the key foundation.
For sure, man. I love that. I love that. And if you know, if you think about his crew, you know, I call them the Dirty Dozen, like the 12 disciples, you know, they were like, you know, thieves, liars, you know, they did all kind of scandalous stuff. And this is who he chose to roll with. You get what I'm saying? And I actually got a podcast called God Made Dirt, shameless plug. And that's the premise, you know, if God can make us from dirt, then the dirt in our lives can't be too bad. You know what I'm saying? It can't be. So that's the entire, you know, that's the entire goal, you know, just to show people that it's not this thing that's just so far out of reach. But I love the fact that you know, you just move on love, and that's the foundation. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, for sure. So we kind of got carried away from asking you questions, but I feel like it's just like, you know, a conversative thing, you know, but
for sure.
To the core, this is your interview. It's about you. So you said you have the Merlot Shades podcast, right? And then you have a studio. Tell us a little bit about each of those. What prompted you to make that? And I love your setup. That's my goal one day. Right now it looks like this, but soon it's gonna look different.
It looks really nice back there.
Thank you. This is my home office, man. My wife killed the decorations in here, and you know, set it up, multimedia, which takes me into the first thing. It's all good. Trust me, I got one. What up, man? What's up? He got a name? I need to know his name. We cannot continue unless I know his name. What's his name? What is his name?
It's Finley.
That's the spelling. I said, what up? But yeah, so multimedia, Merlot Shades. So I spent like maybe about 15 years in IT. I've been doing hip hops for like 20 years off and on. And Merlot Shades is like multimedia. So it's kind of like the kingdom meets multimedia. You know, we got the podcast, we got the Biblic line, the Biblic Society. We have a cartoon coming, a web series called The Paintbrush Journey, you know, quite a few projects that we're working on. And so that's more on the creative side of things. But on the business side of things, we have Ambassador Studios out of Southfield, Michigan. And I'm from Detroit, born and raised. I live in Florida now, but, you know, born and raised out of Detroit. And we've been able and fortunate and blessed to be able to open our own studio in Southfield. It has 2 podcast rooms, one audio recording section with like a huge booth, one video room, and one room we call our convertible room. And, you know, basically we do a lot of the multimedia right there. You know, we have a program called Junior Ambassadors, where we're taking kids 18 and under and just exposing them to multimedia. One of the places down here in Florida called Full Sail. I'm sure you guys have probably heard of Full Sail, but it's like super teched out, from recording arts, film, video game design. Our goal is really to kind of bring something like that up to Michigan, because Michigan's kind of behind when it comes to technology. So we're trying to just expose kids to that while also providing like adults who need secondary education with some of that, just equipping them with up-to-date, high tech, high quality stuff, not, just, the right cameras, the right recording software, the right, mics, all that kind of stuff, just high quality experience. And we're starting to put some podcasts together, produce our own podcasts and put those out. And that's been super dope, just to go from artists to helping someone else put their idea together. Like there's one podcast coming out called Left Brain, Right Mind, and it's gonna be super dope. Like I can't wait till everybody gets a whiff of that. But yeah, so Merlot Shades and Ambassador Studios keeps me plenty busy. And then I'm also a senior security engineer by day. So I'm quite busy. So yeah.
Wow, yeah, you've got a lot on the go.
And a father,
awesome.
Husband, brother, all those things on top of that, And people underestimate how big of a role that family, plays, and how much time it actually takes to not be caught up with everything you're doing, but to actually make time to spend with your family, especially as, I'm sure you're the head of your family, So as being the head, you have to, do you have a daughter or a son?
3 boys.
Three boys. Oh Lord.
3 boys.
You oh Lord, you got
3 boys. Yeah, thank God.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. Yep. 23, 21, and 12.
12. Okay.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Space that one out a little bit.
All right.
Yeah. Really,
that's
but
good,
yeah,
that's
just doing all that. I just want to say, I admire that. Having a full-time job, full-time father, full-time, 2 different things you're doing, helping other people. I was just, me and Jessica were just having a meeting before this. That's kind of where we want to be. We want to be able to wear multiple hats and keep it, really structured and very helpful to for us. The main goal is artists, and stuff like that. So
that's dope.
That's super.
Yeah, the biggest thing I could have ever done in wearing all those hats is understanding, just truly understanding that God is responsible for them at the end of the day. I'm just a man, I'm just a person, that makes mistakes, has flaws. And I'm a constant work in progress. I am God's masterpiece, and he continues to paint something different every day. Once you can see yourself that way, then, me as a dad, once I see myself that way, now I'm not trying to be the perfect dad. I understand that God is standing in the gaps where I fall short as a dad, as a husband, all these different responsibilities that I have. I just can't cover them all.
Yeah,
I can only cover one at a time, literally. I can only do this interview right now. I cannot go play with my son right now, right?
Yeah.
You just can't
hear that.
You know what I'm saying? So, and that's why when you had Buddy hop on, I love it. I have no problem with that. That's real life. We can't. It's much like what I was saying with the message. It's not God over here, we're over here, or me as a father over here, me as a husband over here, me as an engineer here, me as a rapper here. They're all in the same place. All in the same place, no different. And so that's been part of the success. But it's still a work in progress.
Yeah, I feel it.
Sure.
Yeah, totally relatable. And yeah, I find if you do try to do it all at once, you just burn out and wind up doing nothing anyway.
Yep.
So yeah, I think those are words to live by right there.
Sure, for sure. On God.
On God. Yeah.
Speaking of that, love that song. What made you decide on the name B TheMC?
All right, good. That's another great question. So B TheMC. When I first started, so my name is Marcel, right? and I'll give you the short version. Name's Marcel. When I first started rapping, when you first start rapping, you don't have a persona. You know, you have no identity. So you try to take on what you think you should have. At that time, it was like hardcore rap, right? So people called me Cell Block, right? I've never been to prison. I'm not a street cat, you know what I'm saying? I'm from the hood, but I ain't like a street guy like that, you know? So that name didn't quite fit as I matured as an artist. And so, you know, you had the whole Easy, Izzle, that whole wave of language. So it went to Bleezy. And then, you know, pretty soon it was just Bleez. Everybody called me Bleez. I still kind of call myself that. But when I chose to do, because I haven't always done like Christian hip hop, but the hip hop I've always done has been positive. But when I decided to do it this time, I just wanted to rebrand. And I just wanted to go with my real name, like, you know, Marcel B TheMC. My last name is Brown. So it's really Marcel B TheMC. And I just wanted to keep it simple, use my actual name and, you know, just be me. I've been me this entire time, you know, I've always been that through my music, but definitely this is probably the most authentic music I've ever recorded and done. It's close. Like, it may sound like I'm ministering on a lot of these songs to people, but I am speaking from experience a whole lot on this album, a whole lot, you know, so, yeah.
I think,
right on.
Yeah. Like as an artist, it's hard to separate your life and your message from your songs because it's you. And so if you're ministering, that's what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's your life, but also your life is a testimony. Your life is ministering to other people. And so like you're doing that through your music now. So if people like that's just one thing I love about like being a musician is like what I put out, like that's me, you know what I'm saying? That's my message. That's who I am, and that's what's coming out, you know. And if it just happens to be a sad song, you know, it's a sad song.
Yeah,
it happens
man.
to be an uplifting song, like it's an uplifting song, you know, but that's just who you are. Like,
yeah, there are sad days, you know, there are sad moments. So if music is supposed to reflect life, how could we not have sad songs? How can we not have angry songs, you know? So I love it. Yeah, definitely be authentic and you know, display all those different emotions for sure.
For sure. So you said you've been rapping for 20 years.
20, oh Jesus. Yeah, 20.
So like what made you like just pick it up? And then I think you said you like took a little break, and then what made you come back to it?
So man, another story I'll try to keep short. So I started rapping back in 2001, I want to say it was, and it was just out of boredom, you know. I think everybody goes through a I want to be a rapper phase, right? I never really went through that phase, but I decided one day to just write like 100-bar rhyme, right? 100 bars, right? Wow. First rhyme I ever wrote was 100 bars. Wow. And I was letting some people hear it, and my best friend at the time, we just met each other, right? And he heard it, and he was like, man, I'm doing music, I'm doing this demo, I want you to just rap that 100-bar verse on it. If you could just rap that verse, you know, that's it. And I told him, I was like, man, look, man, I'm not doing music, I don't want to do music, that's not my thing at all. And before I knew it, we were in a group, and eventually we formed a group called the Rat Pack, which is the hip hop version of, you know, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis. We formed a hip hop version of that where we incorporated swing music with hip hop. And it was pretty dope, you know, got some radio play. We got kind of established with it. But as we matured and just saw, at the time, there was no YouTube, you know, there was no way to market yourself, be your own label. You had to chase record labels then. You had to hope for a record label. And we actually got one with Virgin Records. But that was, you know, after we got our deal, we went home. Jermaine Dupri took over for the urban division of Virgin Records, and he canceled all deals, all new deals. He canceled them. So we had one at one point, but we started to become like kind of frustrated and tired of that cycle of chasing record labels. So we was like, man, if we take the same capacity and just put it towards something else, man, we can get some money. You know, we can. I remember our goal was, you know, to make 70,000 a year, and so we went after IT. So, you know, we started to mature, moved to Florida, did music, but we eventually became fathers and husbands. And it was like, it's time to put the music down. We would dabble every now and then. you know, I kind of put it on hold. You know, some people would ask me to write for them. I would help people with their music, do some ghost writing over the years, stuff like that, but never really put it down. And like I lost a ton of weight, like 100 pounds, right? I lost like 100 pounds.
Congrats.
And thanks. As I lost all this weight, I started to feel my passions reignite, you know, music, dance, just being creative. And so, you know, I decided to just start writing again and hop in the studio, and that kind of birthed the energy from Merlot Shades and, you know, the album and like, you know, it's here. So it was, you know, it was definitely a long break, but I'm definitely happy to be back at it and just doing it for the kingdom this time around. And I just got one, you know, one of my main missions is that it cannot be corny. Like I know I'm doing Christian hip hop, it can't be corny.
Yeah.
Not the corny kind.
Yeah, it can't do corny, man.
I remember
like when
this. Go ahead.
I was just like when the teachers come into the class and try to be cool with rapping or something.
Yeah, just doing too much. Like, you know, just I'm gonna be myself, man. You know, like I say I'm an MC first. I mean, you know, flat out, I'm an MC first. I listen to everything. You know, I watch the LA Leakers freestyles and I watch Smack URL. You know, I'm big into battle rap and I watch all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a hip hop head. But don't get it twisted. You know, I'm still a man of God at the same time. You can be both. So yeah.
That's true. You can be both. So it's like you know, when you listen on the radio, right? And you could just like tell this is a Christian song. Like it just has that like vibe to it. I've noticed with like Christian hip hop, it's a little bit different, but some of it does come off as like very cheesy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But do you know? Oh, I don't know his name. I do know his name, but I don't. It's not in my head right now. But he's
of
like
course.
Lecrae?
What happens?
No, not Lecrae. I found him on TikTok. I think his name is Light, or he's like light skin. He has waves. He has like light brown eyes.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking. I probably can find him if I look real fast on my phone. Because someone sent them to me on Facebook, and I was like, oh yeah, I had already seen them when they sent them to me though. I can't remember who sent me that, and they wanted me to check it out. Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about though. Yeah, exactly who you're talking about. Who sent me that?
Yeah, I can't remember his name. Like, I'm pretty sure I knew it yesterday.
I think I got him. I think I found him that quick. Oh, that's something light. That's not it. Yeah, somebody else sent it to me. Kieran the Light.
Yeah, Kieran the Light. Yeah, that's who we're talking about.
Yeah, he's dope. So yeah, he's dope.
What was that?
He's dope. So again, I'm a big critiquer of bars, and I haven't took a dive into all of his music. The videos that I've seen, I just didn't get a lot of depth to the lyrics. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get a lot of depth to it. I liked it, right? But again, I like depth. You know, like this shirt, my album's called Biblic. The first thing somebody's gonna say is, what does that mean? What is a Biblic, right? Yeah. So I'm already generating more conversation off of it. Now he's his own artist and he chooses a different way. I'm just, the impression that I got that it wasn't a ton of depth to it, but sonically it was pretty good.
Yeah, and I've been meaning to ask you that, but I was gonna wait a little bit longer, a little bit later on down the interview to ask you that. And I was going to say like the same thing. Like I like what he's saying. I like his message. I like the way he delivers it. But I do not think there's much that. But there's some that I'm like, whoa, like But
like great delivery. Yep. Yeah. Like yeah. But it's catchy. I was
listening to it. Like my sister was playing it in her car one time, and I was like, like that. What he said, like that bar could have been better. And then when she told me who it was, I was like, whoa, I remember what I heard from him sounded a lot better than this. So I think it might just be like different songs. And I don't want to get too much into him. I just want to know what you thought about him.
Yeah. I just don't want hot takes to be like, he was talking about, it's I appreciate it. Everybody, I appreciate all hip hop, all music. I appreciate it all.
Exactly.
It's just, I'm big on different elements within lyricism. So
yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
yeah,
Layers.
Huh?
You want some layers in the meaning
For
of
sure.
the song.
Onions.
For
We need
sure.
some onions
Gotcha.
right now.
Yeah. I love it.
Onions have layers.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
I love it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Jessica, did you have a question?
Well, I was gonna ask if you were saying sometime in like the first or second quarter you have a new album dropping.
Yes. So I went to Michigan the weekend of October 16th. So almost a month ago. And I recorded 15 songs in 2 days. We were in the studio 16 hours on Friday, 17 hours on Saturday. And I recorded it all in 2 days. The album's called Biblic, and it's lit. That's all I gotta say. It's like, it's lit.
Nice.
I can't wait till it drop. It's a banger for sure. And it's depth.
Do you
And
have sorry.
what's that? Go ahead. What?
Looking forward to listening to it. Do you have
Yeah.
a producer team type thing,
I
or do you do
do.
it yourself? Oh, nice,
So,
nice.
yep, executive producer for my album is Darrell Red Campbell Jr. He's if you ever look him up, he's a pretty cool. Like, I've known him since 4th grade, so he's family to me. But
Nice, yeah.
he's super
Oh, I love
established.
that.
Like he was just playing bass for the Royce 59 Tiny Desk. He was doing that. I think he has I want to say either an Emmy. He's an Emmy winner. And he's the same age as me, young guy, but he's the executive producer for my album. He's going to be producing a lot of the tracks. Also, Dean Beans out of Detroit, who's also super producer. And so far, those are the only 2 guys that we've kind of enlisted because they're so dope that, these are guys that I've been working with for years. And this first project is so personal. Like, I don't even have any guest appearances like that. I do have one singing artist on it. His name is September, who's out of Orlando, young guy, and he's dope. He sings, but he's he can produce, record. He's dope on vocals. He does anime voiceover. He's actually going to be on a new boy band reality show coming soon too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, the camp is crazy. I got to be honest. The camp is crazy. And I've been fortunate enough to just form great relationships more than anything, great relationships with great people, stand-up guys. But yep, that's production. That's the crew.
Right on. That's amazing. Yeah, I love that you just know these people and you're just working together. So I'm sure the project is going to come out just super amazing, and I can't wait to listen to it.
Thanks. Q1 Biblic. Next single will be ready soon too.
Okay.
What's a Biblic though?
All right, good question. There we go. So
Gotta talk about it.
So a Biblic is a society that we've started. This phrase was first coined by Bishop Ben Jabber, a pastor out of Detroit. And it's when you are biblically ruled, but you're politically schooled. You get what I'm saying? So instead of ignoring politics, right? We can't ignore the world. A lot of people say you can't be of the world. Yeah, but you can't ignore it either, right? So being a Biblic means that, you may identify as a Democrat or Republican, but you don't just let that dictate you. You don't let gender, political party, race, you don't let those things dictate you. You allow the differences to bridge the gaps. You get what I'm saying? And so we've started this Biblic society for really folks who work in media ministries across the world. So how you go to church, somebody's working the cameras, somebody's working the TV, the slideshows, somebody's working the mics and all that stuff. People who work in media ministry and want to link up with other people in media ministry. So we started this thing called the Biblic Society, but it's the same mentality where, just because you serve in church, it doesn't make you any different than somebody who doesn't. Like, you're still a tech. So it's what multimedia meets the kingdom. And so, but being a Biblic at the heart of it, that's why it says inclusion only, because it's just about allowing. So there's a line, we got a mission statement with it. And one of them is, I build bridges when there's opposition, instead of letting these lines of division just separate us, we cross them and try to just build unity. So that's what a Biblic is.
I would love to have like another, like just a podcast chat with you, like versus an
Okay.
interview, just so like
For
we
sure.
could dig deeper into that, because I feel like
Sure.
we could talk about that for a while.
Yeah.
Honestly, and a couple other topics we could talk about for a while. So I'm just putting that out there, so maybe we can get that scheduled for some time.
You got me. Sign me up.
All right.
Yeah.
Man, I love that.
Thank you.
That. I kind of forgot my next question because I wanted to put that in there.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna
That's
say
all
I
good.
love that too. That's sort of how I try to live my life as well, is just it's not a matter of, you know, having the same beliefs or whatever of somebody,
Mhm.
but you can still understand their point of view, and you can still be friends with somebody who
Yeah.
doesn't feel the same way as you do about something.
Yeah.
And
Like,
I've noticed that people don't feel so comfortable like debating things or talking about things if they don't agree, because it turns into a
right.
conflict when, you know, you can just have the conversation and it doesn't have to turn into an argument.
Mhm.
Yep.
We all need to learn to do that a little bit more.
That's that's emotional maturity, and sadly, like a lot of
Mhm.
Oh
people just
yeah.
don't have
I
it.
love that. I
Yeah.
love that word. I love that phrase, right?
Mhm.
Emotional
Yes.
maturity.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
like for example, like if you voted for Biden, right?
Mhm.
It doesn't make you a winner and the people that voted for Trump a
Mhm.
loser. That
Mhm.
doesn't that's not the case. You know, you just so happen to vote for the person that won the election. That doesn't
Mhm.
make us as the people, there's no winner and no loser because he's the president of
Mhm.
everyone. You get what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Exactly.
So,
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
yeah, like we got to pray, you know, we got to pray for whoever's in office,
Mhm.
and that's the goal, because you know, there was that whole church and state separation, you know, back in the day, and Biblic is the direct opposite of separation of church and state, direct opposite.
It just goes right in there and says,
Yeah.
we are a part of everything. God, because God is a
Exactly.
part of everything. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You
Yep.
can't just, I mean,
Yeah, you can't leave church out of politics, and the first thing you do is swear the guy in on a Bible. Like, that don't make sense.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
But you know, to each their own.
Yeah, for sure.
But there was one thing that so we have 7 minutes left, and so I
Okay.
just wanted to ask you, if there's anything else you wanted to get out, anything you want to talk about that we may have missed. I know I have another question
Okay.
in my head, but before that, like anything you want to get out.
Go ahead with the question. I want all the questions out. I could talk forever.
It's just a simple question. So
What's
like
that?
who would you say are your biggest influences? I know you said you're a hip hop head, so let's see where this goes.
So hip hop influences only?
No. All of your
period.
influences, everything
Okay.
intermediate. Yeah.
Definitely God. First off, no question. But just here on this earth, Kobe Bryant, huge. I got the Mamba tattoo on my leg.
Okay.
Michael Jordan, Diddy, my friends and family for sure. I'm influenced by my pastor, Pastor Patrick Lagon at Great Faith Church in Sanford, Florida. My family, my parents, but hip hop influences, because that's what we're looking for.
No, I'm with it. I'm hearing it all. Yeah.
Biggie,
Yeah,
Jay,
any and all.
Biggie, Jay, Kanye. I love J. Cole, love Kendrick. Some of the, like a Charlie Clips from a battle rap standpoint, Charlie Clips, Calico out of Detroit, Averb. Man, it's so many. JC that's probably my favorite battle rapper, JC. A-Ward, who's a Christian battle rapper. He's super dope too, A-Ward. I actually grabbed some of his merch not too long ago. Other Christian influencers, there's so many I could list, man. Like so many, man. My production team. I stay in what's called sponge mode. Okay. Which means I can learn from any possible person. Like I forgot about the phrase emotional maturity, and you reminded me of it, right? Because I'm here to learn from y'all as well. So that's one that's gonna stick in my mind for like the next few months. Emotional maturity. You get what I'm saying? So if you ask me, my influences is just my environment.
I love that. I love that.
That is great. Yeah. Because if you shut yourself off from learning new things, then you're gonna get really stagnant.
Yep. As far as anything I want to say, one more thing I want to mention on God. Actually, my next single, my next single, and it might be this, but I got a song called Bullet Train.
Okay.
I just want to talk about it. So Bishop Ben Jabber talked about something called the bullet train. You guys ever heard of a bullet train or know what a bullet train is?
I have not.
So there's a bullet train in Japan. I think there's one in Europe as well, but it's a train that is supposed to get you to your destination like way faster than the average train. It goes so fast, it hovers above the track, right? So Bishop Jabber illustrates this with how God gets involved in our lives, and he calls it the bullet train. Because when you allow God to take over your timeline, your plan, your schedule, what you have in mind, it gets on an expedited timeline. He speeds up the progress. So I got a song called Bullet Train, and the hook I want to say is overworked, underpaid, underqualified to 100K, speedy gone, on delay. How you moving? Bullet train. Bullet train. God got me riding on a bullet train. You know what I'm saying? And it walks through that. You could be here, right? But as soon as you just let God get involved, you could be here quick. You start getting, people start coming out their pockets for money to help you. The help, the resources come, they show up. It's that bullet train speed. So I just want everybody that watches this, man, if they don't take anything else from me, is to be encouraged that, no matter where you are, there's always that bullet train speed you can hop on. And make sure you go to ambassadorstudios.com, merlotshades.com, and check us out the show.
Yeah, for sure.
Excellent.
Yeah, excellent. And definitely email us like all that stuff, the links and everything. That way when we do write the blog and post the video and maybe like a month or so, just because we have a bunch of them kind of backlog. That way we can like shout it out. So do you think a bullet train will be out within a month?
Nah, it won't.
Okay.
No, it's gonna be done within a month, but we haven't even discussed release time for it, because I think we might try to do it with the video at the same time. So, and I haven't even shot the video yet, so it won't be out yet.
Make sure you follow Marcel so you know when it's coming out.
Yeah,
appreciate it. That's Marcel B. Yeah, Marcel B _ TheMC. Marcel B TheMC. Make sure you stream on God. Check it out on YouTube. Like and subscribe. All that, you dig, and
all that
have a blessed day while y'all doing it. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Have a blessed day.
And man, I thank y'all for having me here, man. It's really it's an honor. It's really the first interview anybody ever asked me to do, man. So I appreciate it.
Of course, man. I had a great time, and like I said, like I probably could talk to you for a while about different topics.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
It'd be cool, and even if we could get like maybe like someone that necessarily doesn't agree. And like kind of get like a conversation going, that would be,
nice panel.
Yeah, exactly. That's I think that's what I want to try to do, man. That'd be
sign me up.
All right,
the friendly debate.
The Biblicrat panel. Yeah, let's get it.
Yeah, I already like that.
Panel. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we got 1 minute and 8.
Okay.
And so before Zoom rudely cuts us off, I'm gonna go ahead and cut us off. So y'all have a great day.
Well, thanks again.
Thank you.
You too. Have a good one. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Much love.
Take care.
All right. Peace.
We'll talk to you offline as well.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. See. Stop recording. Let's see. Stop.